Hello everybody, Russian Batman back with another video. Sorry, it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah. Sorry for that long hiatus. There's been some stuff going on, so haven't been able to upload, but I am now, and hopefully I could upload more regularly. I'm not gonna promise that because the last time I promised that I stopped uploading for a while. So yeah, but so today's video is just showing off my modified Arkham Asylum and the figures I made along with it. So the Arkham Asylum is basically almost the same build as the one that Mini Superheroes Today did. So go check out his video where he basically just combined two Arkham Asylums and made one inverse. I just kind of copied his idea. I did change a few things about it. I did use some parts from my own collection. His was just purely using parts from the set. So there are some slight differences, and I did change up, like, for example, some of the stickers I didn't put on, or some of the stickers I painted over to make look different. So there are some slight differences, and I'll be showing that first, and then I'll show off the figures. So let me just show off the build first. So here it is. As you can maybe tell, it is very large. Just to show you in perspective, the Sanctum Sanctorum, as you can see clearly, because it's two base plates, that's like half of it. So in person, it is a lot larger than I thought it would be. Yeah, so here's the actual build. Now, it is still a little bit work in progress. There is some stuff I want to do to it further, but some things to note that I did is the fence. There's no holes. I think this part of the fence is supposed to be broken up. I made it all flat and flush. I had to grab some extra parts for that, so it's not completely just using the parts that were only in the set. See here, the gate now goes flush here. So there's not a lot of like sidewalk space. And the, you know, when it's just one, since the gate is like this way, you get a little bit of space outside to pose some stuff. Some other stuff. Oh, you can see Catwoman's here. I didn't mean to leave a figure there, but ooh, little hidden Catwoman. But if I turn this around, you see here, this part of the wall I left, I flattened out. Oh, also, shoot, my bad. I get two of these cars now. Vroom, vroom. Very, very epic. But I flattened that part of the wall, so there's no hole in there. However, I did leave the hole in this side of the wall. You see there's that same escape route. In the middle here, let's see here. In the middle, I changed the little pattern of the vines so it just wasn't super symmetrical. No, so it wasn't just, you know, the exact same. So I have a light right here, but I don't think it looks good, so I'm just gonna leave that off. If I turn this around, the trickiest part about this build is this little gap right here. They don't give you enough bricks to fill that in, so I had to get some bricks from my own collection. And I didn't use all the stickers. I didn't want to repeat, so I just used these two. I might put more stickers on there. And I didn't put any of the stickers that were on the roof because I just didn't really feel like it. Maybe I will. Okay. So, the interior, you're left with a bit of a gap here you have to deal with. So, it's not big enough to like fit a whole jail cell here. What the other guy did in his videos, he made an extra large one. So, basically made this into one big one. I didn't really like that. So, I made this one into a little supply closet. As you can see, there's a little mop in there. It's a little bit tricky to see. I want to put a bucket. I couldn't find my bucket piece. But it's a little mop, and it's just this little blue door. So I think that's a good way. And then I just closed off the top. This is just flattened out. It's just a ladder. So it's just a ladder to lead up to the next section because the ladder is usually on this side of the wall. But now it is... Oh my god, why is my thing so loud? My bad. But yeah, also I did do some stuff with the jail cell. You can see this jail cell right here. I gave an orange flooring. It's supposed to be Clayface's jail cell. And then, what did I do? This one's the one with the hole in it. Oh, and as you can see, another thing I did, you see there's only one of them and isn't two of them. So that's the really only thing I did with the build that's significantly different. At the end, I'll show you the build with all the figures in it. Like it's still a work in progress. I do want to change this room into maybe a dining hall or something. But yeah, that's what I got for the build. And now on to the figures. All right, now that you're back, today I'm just going to be showing off all the figures I made. First of all, I'm just going to try to speed run some of the figures that I basically did nothing to, that I just kind of, you know, put in the outfit or whatever. So for example, Oh my god, I got a new setup here, as you can see, different background, and I'm not so sure if I like it yet, but I'm trying something new. So, as like Riddler, I just, put him in the outfit, changed out his hands. Boom. I just thought more figures should be in the prison outfits since I got some extra ones. Scarecrow, nothing, hand swap. Boom. Oh, some other minor ones is, I put, oh my god, there's like a hair on my hand. I put Mr. Freeze in the outfit. I did like to paint on the little bit there. Again, like I said, I just think it makes more sense for a lot of these characters to be in the prison outfit. Like, I don't know why Mr. Freeze isn't. I guess he broke out. But I just kind of put him in. Now on to, also I forgot, Poison Ivy as well. I did put some vines on her, so like I said, it's slightly different. And yeah, now on to some of the new additions of characters. I put Hush in here because I figured he'd be super easy. I just had this mummy piece I modified, so there is prison outfit for Hush. Another figure, I didn't make this figure for this showcase, but I'm going to include him in the set, is Clayface. I think this is just I think it makes sense for him to not be in the prison outfit, so that's why I didn't. But yeah, there is a Clayface. I've shown him off in a previous video. You can actually remove his head, and he actually has that kind of that half transforming. You maybe interpret this as he's transforming into one of the guards to escape, but there you go for Clayface. Other really simple ones is here you have Black Mask. Oh, let me show this off. Just painted that on. I'm not so sure if I'm in love with this design for Black Mask. I think I could have made the skull more prominent, but there is a very simple Black Mask. And then lastly, I guess there's a whole bunch I still need to show off. Professor Pig. I used the Pigsy head, and I think this kind of fits Lego's style. Maybe they would make a new mold that goes over an actual head, but I kind of just made it look like Pigsy's head, but like kind of wearing a mask. Also, I gave him this little plate with some food on it. Yeah, pretty much it. I'm really speedrunning these guys. Okay, this one I'm actually super happy with. I made a Mad Hatter. This one probably took one of the most amount of works because I actually had to make a new hair hat combo. But at the end of the day, I'm super happy with that facial expression, how it came out, and how it looks. But there is Mad Hatter. All right, some other ones we have here. So wrapping up the prisoners, we also have a Two-Face. This one's basically completely new. The face is, brand new, and also the hairpiece was also sculpted. It's just kind of that fancier hair, but just added a whole big end to it. I've made clay faces in the past, Two-Faces in the past, but I wanted this to kind of fit Lego style, so I didn't wrap it all the way around or nothing to make it kind of look like it could come in the set. You even see his undershirt. I did actually make it half gray to kind of, imply the half and half. And then his coin as well. But there you go. That is most of the prisoners done. Actually, hold up. I did modify Penguin a little bit. I gave him the nose. I gave him Pinocchio's face. I just kind of copied his face print, but with Pinocchio. I've seen other people do this before, but I just thought it would be a cool little easy touch-up, and also gave him the umbrella piece as well, because he came with like a brick-built umbrella. For Penguin, he comes with two little penguin bots. I didn't like that. So you know what I did? I made him some penguins. So but I put him in the little prison jumpsuit. So I thought that'd be really cute to have. It's basically just the penguin piece, but with a prisoner jumpsuit on. We have here is Bane. So I basically just copied the design, but gave him this bigger upper torso. This is kind of an in-between from like my old design for the bigger torso where the shoulders are way further out, put them a little bit in. And I basically just copied the design. I gave him ripped sleeves, a little bit of a tanner skin tone. I know minifigure in the past has had the kind of lighter skin tone, but I know Lego's been experimenting with more skin tones. So I gave him a bit of a darker skin tone because I think in the comics he is Hispanic. I'm not so sure though. I've heard conflicting reports on that. But I know he's like based off a luchador. So I thought it'd be cool to give him a little bit of a more tan skin tone. It has Arkham Asylum. I'm really bad with painting words, so that's why it's like not centered. I realized I didn't explain myself at all. I mean, it's hard to paint on letters, so it's hard to make it centered. I like sped run that sentence. But there you go. And then to fit, I also did a Killer Croc with that same torso mechanic here, but I gave him, he has a bear shirt, so I like ripped off his shirt. He has some, what are those called? Gauntlets, I guess? No, like cuffs. And then I gave him the fawn legs. I know traditionally, like I said, I think he has more human proportioned legs, but I thought it'd be cool to make him look more lizardy. And like the head, the face print is like just the same from the set. Additional figures I made is, ooh, this one I'm super proud of, is this is the Joker I did. Kind of made him tied up like he's Hannibal Lecter. This is actually just a brick-built torso instead of a normal torso. I thought this, if Lego were to do it, they wouldn't just, you know, make a whole new torso piece. So I figured it'd be cool if it was brick-built. And then he has a mask on. So yeah, I think that looks cool. So he can go in his maximum security cell. And yeah, and then some other miscellaneous guys I've made is I didn't include Harley Quinn in the set because I wanted to include Harleen Quinzel. Pretty simple custom for Harleen Quinzel. Not super complicated. Gave her that long hair. I did give black and red on the hairband to, you know, indicate that, ooh, she's going to become Harley Quinn, and Harley Quinn has black and red. But pretty simple figure overall for Harleen Quinzel. And then we also have Dr. Hugo Strange. I know they've made a minifig of this before, but I don't have that one, so I just quickly made my own. Very simple Hugo Strange custom because he does have an office in the set, so I thought it'd be cool to include him. Other figures I've modified is I've modified the Robin to give him some design on the arm that I think looks good and some leg design right there. Boom, boom, boom. Got Bat. Is this Batwoman or Bat Lady? I'm not so sure her name, but I gave her the Spider-Man legs, the dual molded ones, and then made her, gave her some fake dual molded arms. And then last but not least, I did slightly touch up Batman just to give him some detail on his arms and legs. And that is pretty much it with the figures. Now, I think all that's left is just to show you all the figures in the set and, yeah, wrap up the video. All right, so here it all is with all of the minifigures in the display. I think it is beautiful. So I got a little scene of them taking Joker in. And if we look into the interior of this little courtyard, this is basically where all the figures are jammed. Like I said, I could put them in the inside, but then you wouldn't be able to see them. But as you can see here, I forgot to mention, I made a little gym for Bane. So he has some dumbbells and whatnot, so he's working out. You have all the other characters kind of doing their own little thing. He's trying to poison him. I got a little fight scene on the balcony. Catwoman is feeding her cats. And you got Batman kind of hidden here because he kind of, you know, you don't really notice him too much. But yeah, so there it is. There's all of it for you. If y'all liked the video, leave a like, subscribe. Go watch the 2011 film Rango. Have a nice one. And yeah, hopefully I'll upload again shortly. Take care. Oh, I also forgot to mention this little, I've changed out this little, see how it's not Jokerified. This one is. You know, so it's not asymmetrical. Or symmetrical, I guess. So it is asymmetrical. All right, goodbye.